I'm pleased to have Taika Waititi at this table. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Who's the audience for this?
Me.
First, it does have to be you, doesn't it?
It's got to be
it
me.
It does have to be you first.
Me, my friends, my mum. Is
it boys, girls? Is it young?
I'm promoting
teenagers?
this film. I'm promoting this film here, but really, I feel it is for everyone. There is when I was going to make this film, a friend of mine said, you're like a 6-year-old, Taika.
Yeah.
So and from what I can gather with this film, it's like they've asked a bunch of 6-year-olds what they want in a movie, and then they've given them $180 million to make it. And it really is. It
they
feels
gave you
like
180 to make this.
This thing is just got. So, I mean, it's fun, and and audiences everywhere just smiling, and when they leave the cinema, which is something I don't think I really see that often anymore. People coming out of the cinema smiling.
You give them an escape.
An escape. And personally, I feel like we need a bit of escapism at the moment, and I'm happy to provide it.
Well, good for you. What's the genius, you think, of all these Marvel comic characters? Is it just that? These are people who are so larger than life, and they take you to another world, and therefore you escape from whatever it is that might be troubling you.
Yeah, but also I think that they're very relatable.
They have to have human characters.
They have to. Thor is. Essentially, he's a rich kid from outer space. Who just wants to be loved. Wants to be like. We're all rich kids who want to be loved. The Hulk is, it's kind of like this bipolar disorder that he can't control, and I love the theme of Hulk. It's just an age-old idea of wrestling with these two beings within you. And I mean, there is really something. If we look at every character, they probably dress ridiculously, but there is something relatable.
Have you wanted to make one of these films?
No, it was never my dream. Also, it was never my dream to be a filmmaker. That was something I fell into. My background's painting and photography and visual art, graphic stuff, really. And so I kind of fell into this after making some short films, and they did very well. And I was encouraged more than,
So what happened to the art?
I actually realised I got to address it in a rectangle. And so now I can satisfy that side of myself compositionally anyway in the frame.
You live in New Zealand?
I live between New Zealand and Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles,
Los Angeles is a city in America.
Yes, in New Zealand.
Where people like myself
is a country in Asia.
New Zealand is a suburb of Australia.
Yes, really, is it? That's not the way the New Zealanders feel about it, is it?
It's not, I know. Treacherous comment that was on my part.
So, when you began to direct films, I mean, did you have a real sense that all this other stuff really had contributed? You had a visual acuity, you had a sense of color, you had a sense of...
Yeah, I do feel that. I had, spent a long time growing up in theatre and writing plays, directing plays for myself and with my friends, and so I think like all of the things, and been in different various bands and played music and performed, and I feel like all of those various things were all kind of training me really,
to make movies
for this thing, which is a combination of all those things I love.
Do you have certain kinds of films that you want to get to? I mean, now that you're on this success track, that you now have the freedom to do pretty much anything you want to do. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd like to go back and do some of my smaller films.
Really?
Because I still think they're pretty good.
You mean do them, meaning what?
The scripts that I've
written.
Right,
that you never made, but you'd like to make.
Yeah. There's a couple of other ones that I've written, and I quite enjoy my films. I think they're all right. And I'd like to come back and do some more of these Hollywood things like this. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
It's a fun experience.
That was fun for me. It was fun for me, yeah.
What do you call these films other than blockbusters?
Toy commercials.
Yeah, toy commercials. That's right.
No, they're really. I mean, like what I love is it's actually a great story and it's really fun and it's an adventure with these this bombastic world. Like we've basically we've taken all the crayons.
Yeah.
And, laid out every colour imaginable in this film.
Yeah, and with $180 million, I mean, you can just pretty much say, if you need this, we do this.
Yeah, and I think even when you say that, sometimes it's not enough.
Not enough.
No, I don't think you ever have enough money on any of these films. You know, whether it's 3 million or 200, or I think everyone's always. You know, everyone could always.
So let me hear you. Let me hear you out on
more.
this. So if you'd had not 180 but $300 million, this would have been a 2x better film.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe too much money spoils it.
Well, yeah. That would be the
I don't know. I mean, I just
alternative
you know,
idea.
the thing is, like you ask, you know, most directors, it doesn't really matter the budget. The thing that you're always struggling for and that you always want is more time. You know, there's never enough time to shoot these films. You know, we shot for 85 days. Most of my films were shot in 25 days, and this was 85 days. And still, I was struggling. You know, it's like I need more time. You know,
where's the great joy for you? Is it
shooting?
Is it shooting?
Yep.
More shooting than editing.
I don't enjoy editing.
Is that right?
No. Well, you're stuck in you know, a dark room with one person, much like this.
Yeah, but that's where
you imagine you and I
but
in one dark room for a year.
Yeah, yes, I know.
And no one else.
But you have all the power. You know, you sit there and you choose.
Yeah,
you
have
sit there and you choose. Cut here. Change this.
Yeah.
Do this.
Put this song in.
Put this song in. You know.
I love being around.
I don't want that take, not that take.
That's pretty much it. That's it.
Yeah.
Deconstructed directing.
Right.
I really love being on set because I love interacting with a group. I like having a family feel on my sets, and I love the creating like a village and being the master of that village.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Power.
it's that complex, power complex. It's not enough just to control one person in a dark room. I like to control many people, many environments, Charlie.
That's what you should make your biography. There you go. What's the state of the New Zealand film industry today?
Well, I think it's doing quite well. We've got a thriving industry for our population. Yeah. We make about I don't know, maybe eight films a year on average. I'd say 2 of those are pretty good. The rest, it's the same ratio. Same ratio, so, I think, for the rest of the world. You know, it's like 20% of everything's all right, and the rest of it's crap.
Just crap. Is that right?
That's pretty much it. So when you say, if you look at Hollywood, you look at every movie that's made, exactly. You've got to trawl through a lot of stuff. You've got to trawl through it to get to the good stuff.
Is it all about scripts too?
Well, it is.
If you got a good script, you can fix the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
You can find the actors. You can find them.
Well, everyone's drawn to a good script. I remember going to being in Hollywood and finding these scripts and reading them, saying, "This is an amazing script," and saying to my agent, "I'd love to do this. This film. Can take a meeting on it?" And they'd say, "Yeah, sure. You're number 25 on the list
to take a meeting."
So people, artists and actors and directors, they know when there's a good script and they all want to do it.
In other words, if it's good, everybody.
If it's good.
It's the
yeah. You don't stumble across an
you're drawn to the
amazing
flame. Yeah. And when you take a meeting, you go in and try to convince them, whoever owns the property or the studio who's going to finance it, that I have the best idea and I can bring together the highest convergence of talent and creativity.
Well, with this film, there wasn't really a story when I went into pitch, so I wasn't really pitching on an idea so much. I was pitching on tone and the kind of film.
Give me the pitch.
There was no pitch. There was no pitch. I cobbled together some images from different films and put them to music, and that was sort of just to show, like, hey, it could be like this.
I do have an idea,
but there is no story. I think the pitching process really is just, you suss each other out and see whether or not you could bear to work together for 2 years.
That's what it is.
And this is it. This is a pitch, and I think this pitch is going really well, Charlie, because I feel like I like you, and then we could be mates.
We could do that. Yes, we could.
We could maybe make something. I could hang out with you for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly right. But I mean, look at the actors you've got here. Chris Hemsworth. I mean, there you go. There's star appeal right there, man. Yeah. Tom Hiddleston. For God's sakes. I mean, you've got them all here. Let's take a look at this. This is a scene between those two right here, meeting their sister played by Kate Blanchett. My God. I mean, you couldn't miss with this. You could not have made a bad movie. You couldn't. You couldn't screw this up.
Well,
here it is. Roll tape.
I'm Thor, son of Odin.
Really? You don't look like him.
Perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
You sound like him. Neil.
Beg your pardon.
All right.
Forgot that was in the movie.
Yeah, that's a pretty good scene, wasn't it?
Well, there's better scenes.
Yeah. Which one?
There are better scenes, but it's a pretty good scene.
Yeah, I know.
She's good.
Oh boy, she good. She's sat here many times. She is really good.
You can feel it.
You can feel her in the presence in the chair. Yes,
I know she's been here.
Yes, he is. But you do know what movie you're going to make next?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the things I'm doing is a stop motion. I'm doing that. I've got one of my own scripts I would like to do in Europe. I'd like to come back and maybe make another one of these studio films.
Maybe do something on Broadway?
Yeah, I'd do something on Broadway.
You do that?
Off.
Congratulations. Come back anytime. Love
Thank
to
you.
have you. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.